It is clear from its name. Count functions act as counting. We have more than 5 count functions, but just 5 are important. Count, count A, count blank, count if, count ifs. Count function. Let's start with a question. How many increments do we have? For answering this question, you counted the cells which included the numbers in increment column. Count function does the same job as you did here. It counts the numbers in a selected range. Type count, then select the increment column. Press and enter from keyboard. You see it counted the numbered cells. It is 5. If I select name column instead of increment, I double-click on count function cell and change the range. Select the blue range and drag it to name column. You see it doesn't work because this column doesn't contain any numbers. So count just counts numbers. Count A function. How many cells are filled without considering its format in increment and surname columns? Okay, let's work with count A function. Value 1 is increment and value 2 is surname column. The answer that count A shows is 16, but we have 13 non-blank cells. As you see, count A function calculated dashes cells as non-blank. If I remove dashes, you see it shows 13. Therefore, count A counts everything excluded completely empty cells. Count blank function. How many people doesn't get increments? The answer is yes, 3. For counting empty cells, we use count blank function. Count blank and select the range. It shows 2. But why? We have 3 people who didn't get increment this month. We must know this function counts every cell which is completely empty. So here, if I remove dash, it shows 3. Count if function. How many salaries are less than 5,000? How many salaries are more than 6,000? How many salaries are equal to 7,800? I want a magic formula to count me these conditions. This magic function for counting cells with conditions is COUNTIF, equal to COUNTIF. Select the range, then less than 5,000. Make sure the criteria always must be in a quotation mark. The answer is 2. I check it. One is Sarah and the other one is Mason. Next question. Let's do it together. Count if. Range is salary. Criteria is more than 6,000. And one more step. What is it? Yes, criteria should be in a quotation mark. The answer is 5. The third one is equal to 7,800. So I can copy and paste as formula. Double-click on the cell, correct the range, then the criteria. Into this quotation mark, I type equal to 7,800. Press and enter. The answer is 1. Now, if you have learned COUNTIF, could you tell me how many L's do we have? Ella is criteria, and we have a search on name column. The answer is 1. How many salaries are less than and equal to 9,000? COUNTIF. Range is salary, criteria is less than and equal to 9,000. It must be in a quotation mark, and enter. The last question. Count cells less than E8. COUNTIF. Select salary as a range, then less than. Pay attention here. Less than is a criteria, so it must be in quotation mark. Because E8 is the address of the cell and not the exact criteria, so it is out of the quotation mark. For linking less than and the cell, we use and in between. The answer is 3. Here, we can use any operations according to our needs. So you see, COUNTIF counts every criteria, includes numbers, text, or any criteria, but with conditions. COUNTIF's function. How many people's salaries are more than and equal to 3,000 and the increment is more than and equal to 300? Let's dive into the question. Here we have 2 areas. One is salary area and the other area is increment. And we have 2 criteria. So it is conditional, but it is more than one condition. That's why COUNTIFs is used. Equal to COUNTIFs. First range is salary. Then the first criteria is more than and equal to 3,000 in a quotation mark. Okay, the next range is increment and criteria is more than and equal to. I select 300 from its cell F10. As I told, F10 is the address of a cell, not the exact criteria. That's why it is not into the quotation mark. But if we type 300 instead of cell number, we should have typed it into quotation mark, as we did it before. So I put the operations into the quotation mark, and for linking the operations with cell, use AND out of the quotation mark. The answer is 3. So COUNTIFs count cells with 1 or more than 1 conditions. The other way to see count is selecting the range. For example, I select increment range. Here, down corner is written count. It shows 5. If I right-click in this place, I can activate or deactivate count. It shows the simple count without any conditions.